Hi, welcome back. So last time we took a quick look at Databot and on this nutritional data set called NHANES. So I just wanted to kind of pick up where we left off. So we had a couple of things that we noticed. We noticed that there were some duplicated rows in the data set. So that's going to actually affect us. So I'm going to ask a couple more questions of Databot. So which IDs have duplicated rows? So just kind of curious, when you have this kind of duplication, it's really important to kind of understand. So there are a number of, so this is interesting. So you can see that this is a count with duplicate rows. So there are a few of the data set that have, like, for example, there is one person in the data set that has 8 different rows. So that's something to be concerned about. For right now, what I want to do is I want to remove these. So let's try remove the duplicate rows and save as a new data set. Okay, so now we have this new NHANES clean. So you can see that it removed those duplicate rows from the data set. So let's look at the depression levels again. Plot the categories of the depressed variable. Okay, so we see that, we have removed those rows, and I just wanted to make sure that the distribution looks similar. If you remember the last time, there were about 1,000 in the several categories, so we have removed some. I believe there are about 400 in this most category, so we have removed some of those, but the distribution looks the same. So if we are going to try to predict this variable, I want to assess association with various of the other variables. So one thing I might ask is I like to look at crosstabs. So let's try make a cross table of physical activity variables. Let's make cross tables because I'm pretty sure there's more than one. So physical activity variables versus the depressed variable. Okay, so it identified a few of these physical activity variables. So one is called physically active. The other is number of physical activity days. Okay, so it's plotted basically, or it's made some cross tables here. So one of the things we want to know is if we are going to be using this physically active variable in a model is to understand the association of it. So we've got physically active, no, and yes. So one of the things we want to look at are percentages. So within those who have none, the distribution, and this is like within the row. So we've got none. So none the majority of the none are physically not active and have no depressive episodes. But we've got these percentages, so if they are physically active, you can see that if we compare across, so this percentage is higher than physically active for several. So this is something to notice. And another thing to notice here is that most number of depressive days, this percentage is actually twice the size of this. So this gives us an idea that there may be a possible association. So we've got this physically active days. So this is a numeric variable. So let's kind of take a look at kind of how the numbers kind of go down in terms of the columns. So if we look at the several, we can see that there seems to be kind of a downward trend. Although, with 7 physically active days, you can see that it's kind of comparable. So this may not be that helpful to us. And you can also see physically active days as we go down in the number of, or we go up in the number of days, that you can see that the percentages are kind of roughly the same. So that's something interesting to notice, that basically kind of the percent distribution seem to be very similar across all of the days. So here's another one. This is days physical health bad versus depression. So unfortunately, this is bad Databot. You can see that the categories are not in numerical order. But let's take a look. So if you have 0 days, let's take a look at several. So there seems to be a trend if you have kind of more days where your physical health is bad, that you're going to have several depressive episodes. Same thing with the number in the most category as well. So what this is saying to me is that, it seems like this physical activity variable and this physical health bad categorical variable is also pretty important. So that's it for today. Hopefully that was helpful. I'm just really trying Databot out, and hopefully you can kind of see how I work with it.